I finally broke out of Platinum after 10 brutal seasons. Let's talk about my experience with RankUp Academy. I'll show you exactly how it works as well as the massive breakthrough in how I got there. For those unaware, RankUp Academy is a coaching program for Overwatch 2. It focuses on giving players personalized feedback from specialists. Those specialists help identify habits that are holding you back in competitive play. Students get live coaching, VOD reviews, and actionable improvement plans. One of the first questions I had going into this is whether or not everyone that joins ranks up. And of course not, expecting rank increases by default is unrealistic. In my opinion, most players that fail to rank up do so due to a lack of self-accountability of their gameplay. It seems like these folks expect coaches to tell them what to do constantly. You must take the responsibility to improve and not blame every loss. Not everything is your fault, whether it's in-game or in life, but adapting is your responsibility. I learned fast that self-accountability accelerated my ability to improve in-game. Another reason that many folks didn't rank up is just not really aligning with their coach's teaching style. For me, as an example outside of RankUp Academy, I've had several legendary coaches. Some of those coaches explained too many things at once. Others delivered the concepts in ways that I didn't personally absorb very well. Even wonderful coaches like those can feel confusing if their methods don't match with your learning. I often stalled with those other coaches because I couldn't implement all their suggestions at once. Understanding your learning style is crucial to making any visible progress. For some people, the simplicity of RankUp Academy just isn't going to work. Another question I had going into this is whether or not Awkward himself actually coaches. Awkward definitely promotes the program actively throughout his content, but he doesn't do a lot of the coaching himself. He hires specialists he trusts to deliver constant coaching support. Some players, like me, expected that Awkward would be doing the coaching himself, so it led to a little bit of frustration, I know, for me initially. But if we zoom out a bit, we all understand that scaling a business of any kind requires delegation, especially with thousands of students currently in it. Time zones and sheer student volume make one-on-one time impossible for one person. I have myself been coached by Awkward personally, though this was outside of RankUp Academy. Those sessions he gave me were valuable, though I'm sure they were also valuable to him in the content sense. Not just for his content, I guess I should be clear, it was also valuable for mine. Awkward is controversial due to personal opinions and public behavior. Unfortunately, that's something I can relate to a little too well. However, even for me, his confidence sometimes crosses into an unnecessary arrogance in content. I suspect he's much more chill behind the scenes, most people are, but rage bait in content is a very clever marketing ploy. Like I've discussed many times before, rage baiting works really well these days. At the end of the day, the results from his coaching speak volumes. For me, I do wish that sometimes he'd let those results speak for him. That said, supporting him is a personal choice depending on your values. For me, it wasn't an issue. That's because for me, it is exceedingly rare that I account for a business or person's personal beliefs to determine whether I'm going to financially support them. As long as the product's good, I'm good. As a quick side note, if you do enjoy this kind of content, you should consider becoming a patron. Patreon perks include being able to queue with me every 2 weeks with other patrons live at just $5 a month. We play together every other Saturday morning. You can also access an exclusive Minecraft server for the community. The link is in the description for those interested. Now, why did I join RankUp Academy? Honestly, my main goal in joining RUA was making this video for YouTube. I noticed many text-based posts about RankUp Academy online. I wanted to document a full video experience from my perspective. I will say, once I joined, the onboarding process was surprisingly overwhelming initially. First, you submit a career profile screenshot for a specialist to review. They look over your stats and give you an initial concept to start learning. Next, you submit 20 to 30 second clips of you implementing the advice they gave you. The coach then reviews those clips and either recommends you practice this a bit further or submit a replay for further investigation. My first live coaching session was with the tank specialist Lies12 Kai. We focused on my Zarya, big surprise. I learned to use my bubbles more strategically, not just for charge. Use the first 2 bubbles for charge and then start to treat them as a cooldown. Essentially after that, the point is to get to a bubble and a half before making a strategic move forward or back. During the same time period, Awkward actually was reviewing one of my live streamed games on his stream. His very consistent advice throughout that was to notice and push the advantages at every opportunity. I then took Awkward's advice and combined it with Lie's cooldown advice to get some progress. Lies then requested a replay code to do a VOD review to do a deeper analysis of my gameplay. I opted to provide him a Sigma one because Zarya has been banned quite a bit this season, so I needed some tips for Sigma. He encouraged me to use Sigma's rock way more frequently in fights. As a larger concept, I also noticed that I needed to just use my abilities in general and not just hold them forever. Now, the other part I'm learning is the pendulum swinging back to the place where I'm not overusing them. After applying all of these strategies in 28 days, I broke out of Platinum into Diamond after being in Platinum for 10 seasons. I reached Diamond, consistently holding my Diamond 3 peak rating. This achievement ended the meme of me being hard stuck in Platinum, which I definitely earned. It's also a significant step towards my goal of being in the top 500 tank players. Reaching Diamond places me in roughly the top 20% of players, at least as of the rank distribution data that we have most recently back in July of this year. This is a major accomplishment for me, even if some will downplay it online. Season 19 remains a chance to push further towards Master. If I reach Upper Master in this season, I will hit top 500 in the NA region on tank. The progress I've made so far motivates me to continue refining and growing every single day. Every ranked game now feels like a test of improvement rather than just a whether I win or lose. Breaking habits that I've learned over years of plateauing requires dedication and focus. I've also noticed other intangible improvements outside of rank and stats. My positioning, cooldown management, and game sense have all gotten sharper. My anticipation of what an enemy player is about to do is way more accurate. I now react proactively rather than reactively inside the game. The mental aspect of Overwatch is way more important than mechanics is another thing I've definitely noticed. On the topic of things I've noticed, let's talk about the lessons I've learned while I've been in RankUp Academy. Self-accountability over a long period of time beats blaming your teammates every single game by a landslide. We all have games where we are frustrated with our teammates, but I am learning to blame my teammates less. Lately, I've fallen back into that bad habit more often than not, and like I mentioned earlier, it's going to take dedication and focus to get out of that bad habit. The first step to solving any problem is admitting you have one, and I've done that now. Implementing those small, focused changes is way better than overwhelming yourself with a lot of information. Choose coaching that matches how you absorb information best. And in the line of business, delegation is totally normal and necessary for quality delivery. Controversy surrounding public figures doesn't actually affect the quality of their work generally. My advice to anyone joining or thinking about joining is to be ready to take accountability for your own improvement. Submit your clips and VODs thoughtfully and follow your coach's recommendations. Focus on 1 or 2 fundamental adjustments at a time. Patience and consistency are way more important than raw mechanics. Engage with live coaching actively and implement feedback immediately in matches. The program provides guidance, but the results are ultimately up to your dedication. If you decide to try out RankUp Academy, you can use my referral link in the description. I do get a kickback for those of you that choose to do that, so thank you for those of you that do. If you want another tip that may actually help improve your gameplay, you may want to check out this video right here, because in it I described why I ended up trying out a glass mousepad and ultimately why I chose to stick with it.